This is Lewis Hart for Boxing Social in association with Empire Fight Store Forged Irish Stout. Delighted to be joined with a surgeon, Ben Whittaker. We are back out June 15th, nice and active again. Ezra Arenyenka is the opponent. No surprise to you as well from your last fight. Good to sort of be on this stage and have another interesting fight for yourself, would you say?
Yeah, interesting indeed. Came in, did what he did, took his opportunity, but like I said up there, he's got to make a great example of not to do that again.
I was going to say that you've got a target you back naturally without any titles and without but you've got the clout on your name. How long did that take for you to understand the target on your back and understand that people are going to take what you've got?
It's kind of been like that since the amateurs, but of course with a bit of media now, my following as a pro is just ridiculous, and for me it's a compliment. People are doing this with no belts or no actual notable wins on my record. People are coming in and doing that. It says a lot to me.
I was going to say, sometimes do you look back and laugh at some of the things you see? I remember I saw an Instagram exchange with yourself and Rocky Fielding. That was one. So just sort of sit back and laugh at all the things that happen.
Exactly, man. People do anything for clout, like Offset said. But for me, I just got to focus on myself. It's all good and part of the game. It's getting my name out there, but I continue to train the way I do and end up winning the way I do.
I was going to say, how do you reflect on this year so far? You have kept nice and active, and just sort of looking back on the Leon Williams performance, I think that came with a few critics, I'd say. How do you sort of look back on that performance? Do you feel like maybe sometimes for that in that period, I think it was 3 fights in 4 months, was it maybe at the end of it, was there a bit of burnout or anything like that? How do you sort of look back on that?
Yeah, you could look at that maybe, but for me I felt great, I felt good. It's one of those things, you go to a football game, see people get tackled, oh we got tackled, no, but when it comes to boxing you get hit with a jab and stuff, it's not going crazy. I reacted well to it, I laughed, I kind of liked it, but at the end of the day I dropped him and won. That's the main thing, and if I did all that and lost, then we could start saying something. But I'm my own critic, went back, tweaking things, and you'll see a super sharp Ben Whittaker June 15th.
I was going to say, does that show the standards that you set? Because people are going to go crazy if they land a good right hand on yourself, and if you drop rounds, so it shows I suppose it can come with pressure, but it shows the standard that you set for yourself that people don't even want to see you sort of a punch landed on you.
100%, he's kind of that. I don't want to gas myself up as Mayweather, but kind of that Mayweather effect. Oh, he's got hit. It's like, yeah, it's boxing. But for me, focus on the game, get the win, and the wins are all that matters. So that's it.
You mentioned about making up for lost time, and especially after the injuries now. Do you feel like the way that you're pushing now, and for however the end of the year may look, getting through Ezra, happy with everything going, and feel like you're in good stead?
Yeah, I'm active. I'm fighting for my first belt, performing the way I'm supposed to perform, getting my name out there. So this year's been great. Hopefully a couple more fights after this one, if I do everything I'm supposed to do. Then 2025, bigger, better names.
Did have to ask, how was New York? I was in there myself, but you came just after Haney Garcia. But enjoyed sort of the American exposure and potentially fighting there one day?
Yeah, it was great, like walking the streets and people calling your name and noticing. It was kind of weird, but it's a privilege and an honour. But yeah, went there for a little business trip, sounded very good, and hopefully some good news coming soon.
On the topic of privileges and honours, a lot gets said from a matchroom side about yourself. Frank Smith made comments about your contracts. I suppose as it stands with yourself, happy at Boxer, and I suppose what does the future lie in terms of contract and everything like that?
Yeah, it's quite funny. Everybody loves a bit of controversy stuff. But at the end of the day, belts on the line, 12-0 opponent, big stadium fight for me. Everything's been asked what I need, so I'm happy where I am.
Just before we do finish this off, I do want to try something different. I was looking through my TikTok the other day and I had a funny TikTok come up. It did go a little bit viral, and it was you about sort of 19 or so, young, and I'll show you it now. What do you remember of that?
Well, firstly, terrible eyebrows. I used to pluck them. Terrible lineup. But yeah, it's a great moment, meeting one of my idols in boxing, Floyd Mayweather, as well as ex-Team GB teammate and friend Anthony Joshua. It's good. We had a little back and forth and laugh and stuff, and being able to just talk to him, he was like, Olympic medals, they collect dust. Sadly mine is now, so he wasn't lying about that. It's about belts now.
I was going to say, I think Floyd was saying to yourself, you're going to end up being a heavyweight. Not quite the same, but amazing to have that conversation with a legend in a game like Floyd.
exactly. I think I was only about 18
I
there.
think you say you were like 18, 19.
I was
Yeah.
at 18 there, and like I just won the ABAs, and then being in a situation like that, I wasn't the comfortablest. If I was there now, I'd be like, yo. But you know, times have changed. Hopefully, I get to see him again soon.
For sure, Ben. Thank you for taking time to speak to me. Really appreciate it. And yeah, all the best, mate. Top man. Thank you. Cheers, mate.